everybody. I want to talk about some best practices related to video making, a couple different topics related to that. And keep in mind that whatever videos you're making, that you can't always do everything perfectly, and that's totally fine. Nobody does, right? So when we talk about these best practices, we're saying that these are things to keep in mind as you are thinking about making videos for your class and for your students. So where do we start? I would ask the question, why are you making a video? You know, I used to say when I started making videos back in 2012 that there were a lot of different videos out there that you could buy, the prepackaged ones. Not probably the best thing that you could do. I thought of it as like eating a meal, right? Do you want the prepackaged stuff that comes in a box with 12 of them, you know, wrapped in cellophane? Or is there a better way to do it? Maybe there's some takeout. Local restaurant makes good food and you go get it, somebody else makes it. And I always said that the best ones were like the best meals, right? That home-cooked, homemade meal that you make from scratch. Your own videos, in this analogy, are those homemade videos. I think there's a lot of really good videos out there now that you can choose from, a lot better than there used to be, that you can find a lot of really good takeout video. And it's okay to use those, right? So I say maybe there's somebody who has already created a video of your content, your information, a certain topic that you need students to know about. Those are the ones that I think it's okay to go and use as a takeout video. They probably have better graphics and music and other things that you can't add into yours at this point because they have a studio and they have all the other bells and whistles that are nice to have sometimes. But I would say that if a good quality video exists, you don't have to remake it. It's okay to use somebody else's. At the same time, I encourage you to make some of your own videos anyway. So a good place to start with content videos is with the content that your students can't get anywhere else, right? So there isn't something else that exists, that somebody hasn't made a video for the content that you need them to get. Specific topics, specific ways of saying it, specific nuances that are unique to your course or your class or your students. That's a good place to start with content videos. The content and the concepts and the information that they can't get anyplace else but from you, the expert. And I think it's also okay to use a combination, right? Maybe somebody else has made some of the videos that you need and they convey the information, but they haven't done everything that you need. So you could say, hey, here's this content video that somebody else made, and here's where I've filled in the blanks to get you the extra information or the other information or the needed information that you need for our course. So watch this video from this other expert, and then watch this video from me, your classroom teacher. You can combine those, and it makes a lot of sense, and it makes it a reasonable amount of work for you in terms of video making. Why remake what's already been made if it conveys the same information? And of course, content, not the only reason to make videos. You know, maybe there's something that needs explanation for your class, how we connect with the online textbook, how we access that, or maybe there's a project that students are starting and it would just be easier and more meaningful for you to explain, in person via video how to get started with this project, long-term or short-term projects. That might be useful even if we're in class and not virtual. So that you don't have to repeat it 5 times to different groups of students. Maybe students have specific questions. Maybe on an assignment that you give them, you ask for what questions they have about the content, and you could make the videos that relate to specifically answering their content-related questions. And it would be just like having a discussion in class where students ask the question, you answer the question. Of course, there'd be a lapse, but they get the teacher in the room, right? They get you answering their questions. Sometimes as you're giving feedback and you're assigning grades, you'll notice that some things are misunderstood or not understood at all, and there's some remediation that needs to happen. And so video can be a useful tool for having remediation available for students on a variety of different topics. And of course, if there's students absent, getting that content information, this is the stuff we talked about in class, or this is the introduction to the information. Everybody can get it, whether they're absent or not, but it is a useful tool for absent students. And of course, in the beginning, not content related, but important for students to see us as teachers. And so it might be a nice way to introduce yourself via video and give everybody the same information because they all can see the same video across the different classes that you teach. So an introductory message might be a good way to do it. Which brings me back to the original question, why are you making the video? I like to think about this in two different ways. One is I'm making a video to introduce or explain information to my students, whether it's content related or project related or directions or however you want to look at it. I'm making a video for the stuff that my students can't get someplace else. And the other thing is to connect. That's where we're answering their questions and talking about their topics and really just giving them a window into who their teacher is because they get to see them on video. And that's why it's important probably not just to use everybody else's videos because your students want to have that connection. And so it's important that whatever we make video for, that we make a video that lets students find out more about who we are as their teacher. Keeping in mind that this video is a tool. It's a tool that gives us the opportunity to give information, to give directions, to give the stuff that our students need to get from us. It's a tool that gets us to a specific place and allows us to get the information to our students that they need. The video itself is not the end-all and be-all. The video is the tool to get to our students what we need to get to them. So think of this as a tool that we use to get our students what they need. Thanks for listening and watching, and good luck deciding which videos to make for your students. You're going to make great decisions. They're going to benefit from it. Have fun.